Hi, welcome to this tutorial video. In this video, I am going to be showing you from point zero, starting from scratch, how to install WordPress, get it up on a web hosting company's platform, get your domain name registered, get a theme installed, and get your first blog post out the door. There'll be an accompanying post on my website later. Look in the comments below. All the links and stuff that I discuss through this episode will be in the comments below in the description. Look for that there. Follow along, ask questions as you have them. I love to help you get going on WordPress. It's a great platform. And so here we go. Okay, what we're going to start out with is getting your domain hosting web company set up. This is the company that hosts the website for you, so you don't have to worry about setting up servers and all that kind of stuff. What I'm going to recommend to you using is a service called A Small Orange. Great name, fun looking website, and the link is in the comments below. It helps me out if you use that link, gives me a couple bucks to support this tutorial and the other tutorial videos that I do here. What we're going to use for to start out with, they have the cheapest plan they have is a $35 a month, or sorry, $35 a year plan, which is a great deal, and you can go there. What I'm going to recommend you do though is start with their if you find out more and go with their small plan, which is $5 a month. They if you sign up for a year, pay in advance for a whole year, you get 2 months free, plus you get a domain name included as well. So that's the registration of like yourdomainname.com or mygreatawesome.blog.com or .biz or whatever domain name. We'll cover that in a minute. But it's a better deal. Ends up being about $4.17 a month versus $5 a month if you pay in advance for a full year. So if you can swing it, that's what I would do. If you go with the tiny plan, which is $35 a year, you still have to register a domain, which is $10 to $15 a year on top of that. So you're going to end up being close to the same price anyways, but you might consider that. So your options, your mileage may vary. I'm going to choose the annual plan. Click through there. First of all, we need to pick our domain. So you type in your domain name here, choose the extension that you would like, and you're off to the races. For this one, I'm going with the very fancy setting up WP for blogging and profit. And I like the .biz because this is for the businesses. Not really, but I'm just being a goof. You can choose whatever you want in here as long as it's available, obviously. And choose from any number of these extensions that you prefer. Obviously, the .coms is the most common, but these days, with most people typing in your domain name into the Google box, Google bar, or whatever of their browser, they don't even care. They just want setting up WP. Oh, I forgot my WP. Setting up WP. WordPress gets upset if you use WordPress in the domain name or in your business in some way. So that's why I use WP. Setting up WP for blogging and profit.biz. Let's see if that's available. Hooray. It's available. So I could choose, they're saying, this .biz is what you wanted. Great, that's available. You could also add on the .com, but I don't want that. I just want the .biz because I'm all about the business. Order selected domain. So this is where if I go on anything other than a 12-month or longer plan, the domain is $15 on top of my fees. So not a bad, still not a bad deal month to month, but again, I want to save a few bucks. There's add-ons here that you can do. You don't need any of these right now. SSL is for if you're doing e-commerce and things like that, and encryption. Security on your site isn't a bad deal, but we won't worry about that for now. Something to consider down the road. Starter website package. If you want a small orange to build your site for you, that's where you could pay, but you don't need to because I'm going to walk you through how to get it going. You can add this Google AdWords to your account. Gives you $100 credit. Good deal. It's not something that's specific to a small orange. Google will send this stuff out to you as well. Same thing for Bing. If you want to do some advertising on Bing. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but suffice to say, you could add that. It's free, available to new customers of Google or Bing. So anyways, we'll add that to our cart. I don't need ID protection for my domain name. $7 extra a year, that would be an option for you to hide your information about yourself and your domain. I don't care because I'm doing this for blogging and profit. I want people to know about me. Okay, so let's walk through here. $50 a year for the hosting plan, the shared hosting small plan. Domain name, setting up WP for blogging and profit. .biz is free and included, $50 a year. And then reoccurring, because I have the discount for this first year, after that it's going to be $65 annually. Still not a bad deal. You can search the web for promotional codes if you want. From time to time they have those. So we'll check out now. So I don't have an account with the Small Orange. Maybe you do for some reason, but if you don't, you need to set that up. Chris at something, something, something. I'm going to create a password that I'm going to hide from you. I use one password. Choosing a security question, which I won't show you the answer to, of course, either. And my name. You can choose whether you want to receive the monthly newsletter from them. I'm going to use my billing and contact details as above for the domain registration. If you didn't want that, you wanted something different, you could add new domain contact, which I actually am going to do now that I think about it, so I don't have my home information on there. All right, and then of course, payment. How are you going to pay? Credit card, one time. So recurring will mean it'll automatically rebill you if you just want to do it one time and then have to come back and set it up. PayPal, etc. That's your options. I'll leave you to decide, and I'll see you on the other side after I enter my payment information. All right. So here we are, we're logged in, we've paid, hopefully your payment went through, and we're at the Small Orange domain service support section. So I'm not going to cover everything about a Small Orange itself. Suffice to say, you can view your account information, your invoices, emails, all that kind of stuff, tutorials and knowledge base and support. First of all, under my domains though, we're just going to check this off. So you've got setting up. WP for blogging and profit.biz is done. I could register more domains if I wanted here. Under services, my setting up WP for blogging and profit.biz is available, running, started. Next due date is September 2015, and away we go. All right, so under my services now, I'll go back here. I'm going to go here, click on View Details, and log on to cPanel. cPanel is what controls the software that's on your domain. All sorts of stuff. Webmail is where you can access the email, obviously, for your domain. I'm not going to cover that in this tutorial, but suffice to say, you can set up email for your awesome new domain that you just registered. So click the log on to cPanel. It's going to fill in this crazy long address. If you want to get started, you can watch their thing. I'm just going to say no, because we're just going to hack our way through. Scroll all the way down. We're just worried about WordPress for now. And we're going to go to Auto Installer. And so this is where you can install all sorts of things, fun and amazing tools. What we're concerned with, obviously, is WordPress in this tutorial. Okay, so a whole bunch of geeky stuff here, but suffice to say, you can leave this as your protocol for now, HTTP. If you're wanting, you can have the www in front. It doesn't really matter these days. A lot of browsers and stuff will just hide it automatically anyways, and both will resolve. If you're doing this with e-commerce and you had chosen the SSL certificate, you'd want to choose that as well. That gets into other details again that we're not going to cover in this domain or this tutorial. The directory is if you wanted it in a WordPress itself in a subdirectory, which is sometimes a good idea if you wanted to either run a second WordPress install, or maybe you wanted to have it more hidden, I guess, than in the main directory, security reasons. Not a bad idea, but for this one, I'm going to not do that. I'm just going to leave it empty, so it's going to go in the main directory of just setting up WP for blogging and profit.biz / and then that'll be the WordPress install. The table prefix is for the database, just basically tells it how to find its information in the database that it's going to set up for you. You can add something here just to make it a little bit more, I guess, secure in terms of not using the standard setup. That's the main reason why. Or eventually you'd have maybe multiple WordPress installs, and each one would have to have its own prefix. Site name is what you want it to be named. Setting up WP for blogging and profit. My WordPress based biz. So these can be changed later in your WordPress install, so don't sweat the details here. It'll just pre-configure it for you. We don't want to enable multi-site at this time. That's where you could have multiple blogs running off of one WordPress install. Again, something out of the scope of this tutorial video. The admin username is whatever you would want. It's advisable to not just use admin, again, for security reasons mainly. Change it to something else, whether it's admin Chris is awesome. It doesn't really matter, but just something different. Your password, of course, use a strong, awesome password, which I will change later so it won't be this. And then in your email, put your email address. You can email me if you want, have questions about the video. I'm not scared of you. No, put your address there because it's going to email you the details of how to log in. This option is to limit the number of logins attempted for your install. I would suggest checking this as long as you are decent and do a good job of remembering your own passwords. But basically, this prevents people from just trying to brute force hack into your domain, your WordPress install by trying different passwords over and over and over. Clicking through advanced options, you can choose not to be notified if there's updates to WordPress that come along. It's a good idea to be notified. Unless you're doing some serious development work and really finicky coding stuff, not a bad idea these days to have it auto upgrade, just because then it'll keep current with WordPress. The reason why you might not want to do that is if you're doing some really custom theme work and say something new comes along in WordPress that might break what you're doing with the theme that you've customized. Not just a little customizing, but like a lot. Nerdy developer stuff. Auto upgrade your WordPress plugins. Also not a bad idea. Again, unless you're doing something really finicky, and if it breaks, you're going to lose money and your business will be in shambles. Don't do that automatically because you want to test that kind of stuff first. Similarly for the theme, I'm going to do it automatically here because this is a site that I'm going to be leaving to sort of run and display this video and not a lot else. So if it breaks, it's not the end of the world. Automatic backups, you can run with a small orange through the cPanel here. I would say, again, depending on how often you update your site, not a bad idea to do it once a day. If you're blogging every day, then do that once a day so you have a backup. I'm going to do it to once a week and leave it at that. And I want maybe 4 backups. I don't really care. It's not going to run that often. There's some predefined themes you can select and have installed for you. We're going to skip that because we want to do a specific theme, and I'll show you how to install it. You can have the instructions for the install emailed to you. Don't email them to me. I don't want them. I can't help you there. But that's where you throw your email address and click install. And just like that, it's up and running. Should be. Let's check it out. Open in a new tab. There we go. WordPress is up and running, so I could tell friends and family about this, and my site is done. Except now I need to get in there and mess around with my content. If you want to tweet, you can tweet, I guess. I don't know. People do that. So the second address here is how you get to the admin panel for your WordPress install. So the first address gives you this, your actual website with a sample theme installed. The second address gives you the login where you need to type in your password and things like that. So I'm going to go fetch that from the email that they sent me. I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see here, this is the email I got from my WordPress install. Obviously the fancy password there, which I will change by the time this video is out, so don't bother. I'm trying to use that again. Admin, Chris is awesome. I should probably change that again too, because who knows what will happen. Copy the password in, click login. That's my 1Password saving details. And so we're in. This is my WordPress site, and we're up and running. We are going to do, I'm not going to cover everything about WordPress that goes on here. Suffice to say, this dashboard page, you can change. You can have different things appear on this home page, and as you install plugins and different themes, they'll have their own little boxes maybe installed. I'm going to dismiss this, and I'm going to go to the screen options, get rid of the quick draft thing. I don't personally use that. Get rid of the news. I subscribe in other ways. And you can drag, say, this activity feed over here, close the screen options. And I'm going to delete this comment, which is just a temporary comment to show you what a comment looks like. Under posts, this is where your blog posts will go in the future. I'm going to trash the Hello World, the entry level one. And the one setting I'm going to set right now, just so I don't forget, and it's the one that bugs me the most when people don't change this on their WordPress installs. If you go down to settings and permalinks, change it from the default being of your domain name dot whatever / p equals number of stuff to almost any other option. Day and name means it'll add the date here, year, month, day, and then the name of the post. Month and name if you just want that, or just numeric even is better, or just the post name is what I generally prefer for most things these days. You kind of want, there's some SEO value, I guess, to sometimes having the date, but often it's worse because then in 2 years your post automatically looks outdated, even if it's actually still current, just from a user viewing perspective. So whereas post name will just put the post name, whatever you name your post. Hit save. There. Now I won't be angry as soon as I come to your website. Under general, here is where, again, we can change some of these settings of the site title and tagline that displayed. Your time zone, I happen to be UTC -6, or you can go up into find your city. Date format if you prefer, time format, etc. Options available to you. Do as you like. All right. The first thing I want to cover here is finding a theme that you like. So under Appearance and Themes, you'll see that there's the default WordPress made the last 3 themes. Each year they put out a new theme, generally 2014, 2013. You can kind of figure out where those names are coming from. We're going to add a new one, just in the interest of doing something different. So they have a really nice theme viewer from all their themes that are uploaded to the WordPress theme repository. Featured, popular. I'll show you a different list. Obviously, latest ones that are uploaded, which kind of can help as far as something fresh and new that isn't as common. If you like one, you can click preview and it'll show you a quick preview with some basic WordPress element. Actually, this one's not bad. Maybe we'll use this one. See the description over here, clean, minimalist, responsive theme for bloggers. Retina ready design, support for gallery, Jetpack, infinite scroll, and includes the Swedish translations. So let's install it. We can just click install. It's done. So I would need to activate it if I wanted to actually make this my theme right now. So we saw right now this is the theme that's running. But if I click activate, now if I reload my page, it'll change to new theme. Nice. I was going to use a different one. I'll just show you what I mean. I can use, what was the name of the one I was going to use? Tonal. Do a search. Oh, I'm going to add new. Sorry, I'm looking through my existing themes. Search the theme market for Tonal. Similar looking theme. Details and preview. Nice kind of bigger theme. I can click install. Maybe I will use this one still, and click activate. Refresh. There. Nothing found. There's nothing here. This toolbar at the top, we can turn off. It's only for people who are logged in, like yourself as the admin user of WordPress. You're going to see that. Nobody else will, unless you set up user accounts for your friends and family and people. So here you can see I've got now that first theme, Rams, installed. Tonal is the one that's active, 2014, 2013, 2012. So I could switch again back to this one if I wanted to, but we're going to move forward with Tonal. Let's go into the customize option. Most themes have this now as of WordPress 3 point something and beyond. We're now in WordPress 4 as of this recording. So here again, I can change some of this stuff. And you can see it live and reflected. Change some of the colors if I wanted to. Choose a slightly off-white color for the background. Leave the text color as that. If I wanted to add a new header image, this is where I would do it. And go find it on your computer. I don't have one set up right now, so I won't do that for now. Background image for the site. Again, upload a new image. Not going to do that for now. The theme is either set up to show the latest posts. We'll cover this in a bit because once we have actual content. So I'm going to save and publish the changes I did. I think I just added for profit, just so that everybody knows that I'm all about profit. All right. So theme is there. Next, we're going to go to some plugins. Adding a plugin. If there's 100,000 themes, there's 100 million plugins. Right now, these are the 3 plugins that are installed. Only this one is activated currently and running. So I could activate Hello Dolly. This is just a built-in plugin that just adds a little comment to WordPress as you run it. Nothing useful, but kind of goofy and fun. Akismet is a spam, anti-spam, comment spam plugin that's handy to run. And we will do that. But first of all, we're going to go add a new plugin. And it's one made by Automatic, the company that makes WordPress. And it's this one called Jetpack. So if it shows up right here, great. You can click Install Now. If not, you can search, of course, for plugins and find it. And click Install Now. And are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And so now I want to click Activate this plugin. Done. So now this plugin adds a new thing. I need to connect to WordPress for stats and other things that we're going to cover. So this is where having a WordPress.com account comes in handy, and you'll need to set one up if you don't. I already have one set up, so I'm not going to walk through setting that up again, but we'll show you here what it looks like. So if you need an account, you click that, click through there. Like I said, I already have one. Authorize this site. So Jetpack is connected. Like I said, it connects so it enables some stats and other things that we'll cover in a minute. If we click through to Jetpack settings here, there's a few key ones I want to make sure are activated. So right now I'm viewing all the different settings for Jetpack that could be enabled. I'm going to enable carousel. This helps with displaying, or activate, I guess, carousel. Helps with displaying. You can click through galleries on your WordPress page. So it gives a nice pop-up if you add an image to your WordPress site, image gallery, sorry. The next one I want to do is, it's activated already, is this Google Plus profile. This allows you to link your account to a Google Plus page if you have one, your Gmail account, that kind of thing. Google's pretty happy promoting Google Plus, so it helps, I guess, a little bit with SEO and having your content found on the Googles. Markdown is one that I will activate. It's a way to write your posts a little bit easier without some of the as much geeky code. Your mileage may vary. We'll cover that in a bit. Monitor is another good one to activate. What it does is alerts you if your site is down. It'll send an email to your admin email, the one we started with. When you set up your WordPress install, if your site goes down at all, you'll get an email there. You'll, of course, have support through a small orange, and that's where you would reach out to them if things are going weird that way. But at least WordPress itself can let you know if it goes down. Photon is a service that, again, the company that makes WordPress Automatic built to support storing photos and things from your website on a faster delivery network than what possibly a small orange or your web host can do. And so it's good to enable that. It won't, you don't have to if your site isn't super busy or whatever. It doesn't necessarily need it, but it's a good option to consider. Posting by email is something to look into if you're at all interested in being able to post through your email, just like it sounds. If you go into your profile settings, there'll be a email address you can enable, post by email, and you would click this to enable it. It'll spit out that address that you would then send an email to automatically post something to your blog. So I'm going to disable that just so that you guys can't start posting things to my blog. Because basically, if anybody gets that address, then they would be able to post to your blog. So Jetpack settings, we'll go back here. Publicize is another one it's already active by default. And I'm going to configure this. This allows you to basically have new posts automatically shared out to your Facebook, your Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Path, Google Plus pages. So connect these as you need to and want to. It's fairly self-explanatory. You connect it. I'm going to connect my Twitter account just for fun here. Have to log in, of course. And click OK. If you want to click this, if there's multiple users, if you have, say, a blog account that's specific to just, like it's not one user's account, but the blog itself has a Twitter account, you can make this connection available to other users if you have multiple authors. In my case, I don't, so I don't want other people posting things to my Twitter account. So you can set the other ones up. That's that. Sharing is done here below as well, which is turned on as well. Basically, this allows you to, any services that up here that you drag into this area will be available on a post or a page and allow people to automatically share your post if it's so amazing that they need to share. So let's say email, I want Facebook, LinkedIn, maybe the Twitters, and Pinterest, of course. We'll leave it for that. You can put some services behind a share button as well if you want to add these other ones. Google Plus. Let's put Google Plus out here. So you could drag them around, move them around, that kind of stuff. You can choose whether you want icon and text, icon only, text only, or use the official buttons. The only reason I caution, it looks nice to have the official buttons as far as showing all the numbers that maybe it's been shared. It adds extra load time to your web page. So I kind of prefer either icon or text, whatever you like of these three as opposed to the official buttons. Sharing label will just mean what it says. Do you want it to say share this or yo, share this please now? And whether you want the links to open in a new window or the same window. And I just want these to be shown on posts, and that's it. Not on the page, just on the post. This helps with a bit of SEO. You put in your Twitter account again of the owner. You can hide your Google Plus profile on the post if you want. Kind of unclutters it, makes it a little more clean. Hit save. The other couple that I just want to go back to Jetpack settings to show is, where is it here? Shortcode embed, which is enabled by default. This allows you to automatically have links to, like the services it lists here, Flickr, YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook things. Basically allows you to have better embedded content and media from those services on your site. So rather than always linking out to another site, you can use one of these codes and you can click through to find out more on how to use them, embed them in a post or a page on your site. Spelling and grammar, always good to have. You can, that's enabled by default as well, but you can, depend on how much you want it to proofread what you've written, you can enable some of these settings so that it alerts you to basically, hey, this might be a little bit of a complex phrase here, or you're using hidden verbs, etc., passive voice, things like that, so that your writing, your blog posts, etc., are better, more betterer, right? That's English. Finally, there's a whole bunch here. Let's just quickly cover widget visibility. This is enabled by default, but what it allows you to do basically is have certain sidebars, certain widgets appear only on certain pages. Handy if you have, say, a for sale button or something like that that you only want on certain pages. Okay, one more plugin. Since Akismet is already installed, that's a good one to have. We need to find, for some SEO fun, we'll just go a search for Yoast SEO. Yoast? I don't know how to say that. And that's the one we want. We're going to install it. It's not required. The whole SEO thing, activate it, is a bit of a magic game that you play with your website. Sometimes it helps Sometimes it doesn't. I like this company. I'm not going to allow tracking just for improving it, just because there isn't much going on the site. But it adds some metadata boxes to your WordPress posts and things like that. Okay, so sorry, I'm not going to cover that in great detail. Let's go to our pages. So there's a sample page here. Go away, Yoast. Let's trash the sample page. So right now, there is nothing on our site. If we refresh, if I click the menu here, which is fancy menu, nothing up there. So let's go back to pages. And we're going to say add a new page eventually. This is about me. So title goes up here. I'm not going to explain everything in detail on WordPress control panel here, but suffice to say your content can go in here where the content goes, and I'd write a lot more, but that's all I have to say for now. Add media. Let's go add a picture. I've got a picture of me because it's all about me. Choose it. URL title if I want it. Just put me at Barcamp a few years ago. If I want to align it center, sure. I don't want it to link anywhere, and I want the full size image. Insert into page. Boom. There's a nice picture. What a great looking guy. Hit publish. There's more videos and stuff that'll cover in greater detail specifics about this page and what's going on here, say with SEO and things. We'll cover that in future videos. This is just about getting up and going. So now if I go back to my page, my WordPress site, nothing looks changed, but it's because it's a page that's added. This is about me. So you can see the URL up here, because we changed our permalinks, is exactly what it sounds about, or what we typed in. This is about me. So here's the content. Here's that nice picture. You can, if you're logged in, you can click right here and click edit, and you'll go back to the editing page of your page. Page. So I'll close this other tab. We're back in the editor. So that's how you create a page. You can have many pages. It'll automatically add it to the menu in this theme. Let's go to a post, because that's going to be what we want to do the most of, because we're blogging for profit with WordPress. So there's no post right now. We're going to add a new post. So as I'm typing this, Apple's having their big media event, new media event, blog. So I put my thoughts and my content in here on Apple's new things. I love new shiny gadgets from Apple. If I wanted to put, say, a quote, Tim Cook is my favorite new CEO of Apple. Highlight that, hit the block quote button, turn off the block quote button. This is a bold item. This is italics. This is centered text. I'm Canadian, so it gets centered. So click the bold, click the italics, highlight, just like using Word. Click. I'm going to highlight Apple and insert a link to apple.com. So I could just hit publish now, which I will, and away it goes. And that's post. So if I go to view my site here, Apple's new media event. Here's my thoughts on Apple's new thing. I love shiny new gadgets. Tim Cook is my favorite, etc. Again, I can go edit. I can leave a comment. I can click through, see the post itself directly. You can see the URL up there is exactly like I typed it in. That's where if I change the permalinks, I could have the year and month and day in there if I wanted to. So click here, go back to the dashboard. We'll add a new post this time. Show you how to embed a quick video. So I'm going to grab not the playlist, but just the link to the video. Go back here, add a post called Minecraft videos. And what's nice is I can just link pasted, all I did there was pasted the link to the video and WordPress grabbed the rest, right? I'm going to change the type, the format to video, which doesn't change the content at all, doesn't affect anything other than, okay, I'm going to turn off the Twitter stuff right now just because I don't want it to automatically send out tweets about things when I'm doing this testing, but that's where you could, if you're not ready, you could turn that off. Hit publish. Now if I click view post, Minecraft videos, video is shown there. If I go back to the home page, you can see there's my Minecraft video post, there's my blog post. You can see that over on the side here, this is where that type of post comes in handy. So that was a video post. This was just a regular post. If I go add a new post and choose an image, which I could have done for that one, or link, it'll then reflect that on the sidebar in the categories. So that is a very quick overview. Oh, one thing I was going to cover is widgets, which this theme itself doesn't have a tremendous amount of widgets, but what they do have is displayed. If I go view site in a new tab, the widgets are actually up top here instead of on the bottom. So there's one set of widgets right there. If I go in here and get rid of this meta box, drag it out, and maybe the recent post box, and then refresh my site, you'll see now that instead of the meta box and other things, they're gone, and just the search comments archives is left. If I wanted to add something to this other widget area, I could add the calendar and click save. Calendar of posts is what that is. It's not an event calendar. For that you need a different plugin. So then I've got a calendar of my posts, which obviously happen to be just on September 9th right now. I could add another listing of, well, let's do the recent post one. Onto sidebar 3. It'll display the 5 most recent posts. Refresh. There's my recent posts. One last thing I'll cover is as part of Jetpack installing, you get site stats as well. And so that is for any of you with any sort of vanity about and loving seeing how busy and how much traffic your site is getting, that's where you'd go. Obviously, this site is still too new, so there's nothing happening. It should also be reflected on your dashboard. There'll be a new widget, I guess, displayed here showing your stats for your site. So every time you log in, you can see the stats. That's it feels like a whirlwind tour, but hopefully you can pause it and stop it if you need to. Like I said, ask questions in the comments below. If you have anything along the way, there's future videos, tutorials, and specific topics as it relates to WordPress you'd love for me to cover, hit me up in the comments below. Or if you followed my email address, I'd be happy to answer your questions there. It is something I do for a business on the side, so I can't answer all questions in great detail. And if you'd like to hire me, you can. lemonproductions.ca is where I'm available there. I'd love a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to this video. If you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, your family, loved ones, your dog, cat, whatever kind of animal you might have. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you next time.